Hello, hello, everyone. This is Carmen Maret and Andrew Bergeron. We're the Folias duo. We are in an alternate location today. We actually just had the power go out at our house about an hour ago, and we ran our stuff over to our friend Chris Martin's house, who lives in the neighborhood, who has power, and so we're here. It's a miracle. Thank you. We're so thankful that we can continue to do our stream today. This is our Go series, and today we have a special guest, Michael Malice, who is waiting over in Detroit in his home. He's going to play some piano for us after Andrew and I play our set. So we'll get started. We're going to play first a piece of mine called Locust Storm, and it's about locust plagues. It's a newer piece of mine. So here we go, Locust Storm. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Folias Duo. I'm going to say hello to a few folks that tuned in. Hello, Aaron Alter in Carlsbad, California, longtime fan. Thanks for joining us. Mom and Dad in Idaho. Hello, Marlene and Ron in Holland. Terry Johnson in Warrenville. Johnny Scotch, hello from Whitehall, Michigan. Thanks for joining us. Carlton Maxim, sounding good. Thank you. Olivia in Lansing. Air Tech, which is Andy. Hello, yes, thank you. Emily Schilt and Victor in Stockholm, Sweden. Thanks so much.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll repeat Carlton's comment. He said, I guess the Go series takes on a new meaning for today. And that's true. We had to go because our house has no electricity. There's a windstorm going on here. And thanks to Chris and Laura Martin for hosting us. I'm not sure Laura even knows we're here yet. Thank you so much. If you're digging the sounds, I'll just remind everyone we're doing the show on a donation. If you could donate to the cause, $10 to $20 suggested donation. Helps us run the shows, keep things going. You'll see the donation links in the chat. Our stream wizard, Michael Pierce, helping us out from Lansing. The next set of pieces are my newest compositions I wrote last summer. They're called Dream Dances, and they're inspired by a movie by Haruki I sang the wrong name. Sorry.
Akira Kurosawa.
Thank you. Akira Kurosawa, Japanese filmmaker. His last film called Dreams. And this is a movie. In the movie, it's like these short vignettes of dreams he had during his life. And the first two in particular really struck me. And so I wrote pieces about these. They're written for guitar and then Carmen's African flute. You can see her holding it now, the tambine that she got in Guinea about 10 years ago. And it's interesting. It's a flute, but it almost works more a little bit like a trumpet, only 3 holes. And as a composer, it was really interesting to think about how limitations can create more freedoms. The first piece in the set is called Procession of the Foxes. And just to kind of set the scene for you, this is a young boy, he's playing outside and it starts raining and it's sunny at the same time, and his mom comes and says, you better come inside, you can't be outside when it's rain sun. The foxes dance in the woods and they don't like to be seen. Well, what's the little boy do but go out in the woods to go see the foxes? And he sees them processing through the woods and making music and dancing, and this is my version of that. This is called Procession of the Foxes.
All right. Thanks again, everyone. Thank you for listening. Carmen Maret, the Andrew Bergeron, Folias duo. We've got one more piece for you before we turn it over to our guest pianist and composer, Michael Malice. This is the second part of Andrew's Dream Dances. And this is a piece called Forgotten Peach Blossoms, and inspired by a scene in the movie Dreams, directed by Kurosawa. And in this scene, it's a little boy who goes out to the family orchard that's been cut down, and he's remembering all of the beautiful blossoms. And so it's a piece about taking every moment of every day and how precious this life is. And I want to dedicate this to my cousin Matt, who passed away yesterday. Forgotten Peach Blossoms.
right. Just been listening to my new composition, Dream Dances. That was Forgotten Peach Blossoms. My name's Andrew Bergeron. This is my beautiful wife, Carmen Maret. We are the Folias Flute and Guitar Duo. We are in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but we are not at our house. We are at our friend Christopher Martin and Laura Martin's house. Thankfully, they saved us from the windstorm power outage because our house is dark. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments. Keep them coming. We're really excited. We got our new set coming up here from our friend all the way from Detroit. Michael Malice is going to play some piano for us. Going to tell us all about it, and we're really excited to introduce to you Michael Malice. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Malice, and I am excited to be here. I just want to say thank you to Carmen and Andrew for having me, to the Folias Duo. We met actually in Chris and Laura's living room a few years ago. I have a feeling that at this point, I can't possibly do anything in Grand Rapids without it being in Chris and Laura's living room. They very generously hosted me for a couple of concerts over the years, and truly lovely people, and it's no surprise to me that they're coming through for Carmen and Andrew right now. So thanks to them for making this happen, and thanks to Carmen and Andrew for putting on this series and for being so dedicated to this work over the course of these last couple of years. It's very, very impressive. I am going to play a little bit of my own music for you all. I'm going to start with a piece of mine called Imperfect Intervals, and I'll move on from there, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it after I play for a little bit. So this is Imperfect Intervals. Thank you very much. So that ended up actually being 3 pieces of mine. The first 3 pieces of my set kind of all mashed together there. I'll kind of see if I can reconstruct it in my head and then talk you through it. Started with Imperfect Intervals, which is kind of the big open spacey thing that I started with. Imperfect Intervals is kind of an interesting one in that it exists as a notated set of 9 compositions and also as a text score, which is like kind of a guide for improvisation, a guided improvisation. So sometimes I play the notated versions and sometimes I play an improvised version. I especially like to use the improvised version as a transition into other things. So that was an improvised version of Imperfect Intervals. And really, I think of that music more as a way of listening or as a process for improvisation than anything else, more than like a discrete composition. What it is like an etude for my ears, a way of opening my ears up to the instrument, a way of saying hello to the instrument, and a way of checking in with myself, making sure that I'm good before I start playing music. And really just a way of giving the sounds their own life. I don't have like the exact words of the text score in front of me, but one of the lines in it is let the sounds carve out their own path, like a river carving out its own path. So when I play that, I really like to try and just give the sounds their own life, let their own pathways form, and try and get myself as out of the way as possible. So I started with Imperfect Intervals, and then I transitioned into an improvisation, which led to my piece 31114. That piece was written on my wife's birthday in 2014. So those numbers are a dedication to her, whose name is also Carmen, actually. So another Carmen in the space right now. And that piece is a fun one for me to play. I like to go to it a lot. It's just a little loop of a few different chords. And, I was studying Debussy a lot at the time when I wrote it, so I was interested in just like these kind of flowing rivers of sound type of thing. And improvised with that and, found my way to the third piece of those 3, which is the kind of fast vamp that I found myself in at the very end. That one's called Seeds. And Seeds is just a little vamp figure in my left hand, and the melody pulls various notes out of that, and I play it kind of displaced over the course of 3 or 4 octaves on the piano in my right hand. So I improvise with the vamp, I improvise with the melody, and it's a fun one for me to play. I really enjoy playing that one a lot. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Imperfect Intervals is available for purchase as a set of the 9 kind of notated compositions. It's about 90 minutes worth of music. And also the sheet music is available too. And all of that you can find on my website, www.michaelmalice.com. And you can also find that on my Bandcamp page, which is just michaelmalice.bandcamp.com. And 31114 is available on an EP I put out called 3 Pieces for Piano. So if you're interested in that music, you can go find it anywhere. Let's see here. I'm going to continue now with music that's not my own. This is a little mashup that I like to do of Round Midnight by Thelonious Monk and one of Alexander Scriabin's preludes. This is Prelude Prelude Opus 16, number 4. So Thelonious Monk and Scriabin together in one piece, Round Midnight and Scriabin Prelude. I just want to take a moment and acknowledge all the comments coming in. Thank you all so much, and I'm glad you all are enjoying yourself. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. All right. Well, not sure what happened to Michael, but we'll wait a minute, see if he comes back on, see if he wants to say goodbye. He may not know he still might be jamming on Thelonious Monk. Something happened on his end. The internet. I guess it's one of those days. We got lucky to even have our broadcast going today. I guess while we're here, I'll tell you about the next show coming up. Second Sunday in March 13, we're going to be performing with Olivia Vargas, singer and friend who we are collaborating with truly for this concert. We all wrote something for this concert, a new piece of mine, new collaborative piece with Andrew, and then Olivia wrote the lyrics to a brand new piece as well. So it's going to be really cool concert. And yeah, what do you think? Do we say goodbye? Oh.
Yeah.
Or
Yes, fine.
all right. All right. Andrew's going to say something.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for sticking it out with us. My name's Andrew Bergeron. This is Carmen Maret. We're the Folias duo. We just had our special guest, Michael Malice, and that mashup of Scriabin and Thelonious Monk just took him totally out into the outer lands. So we want to say thank you to Michael for playing with us, and thank you to all of you for watching and listening. We'll be back next month with Olivia, and if you haven't had the chance, we're accepting donations for this broadcast. Oh, wait, I think Michael's coming back. Maybe we can talk. Hold on, let's see.
Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Hello, Michael.
Yeah. Oh,
Are we back? Shoot.
we have no sound.
Yeah, we have no sound. Oh.
Okay. Wow. Oh, here you go.
All right. Stand by. Stand by.
So,
Oh, here we are.
hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened other than I looked up and my screen was blank and it said that I had no internet connection. And,
Yep.
I'm so sorry. I feel so bad.
Good.
That's all right. All right. Well, do you want to just take a minute to chat?
Sure.
Do you wanna-
How much of that did you catch? That's all. That's what I want to know. Yeah.
It was a while.
Like
It was a
couple-
while. I would
Oh,
say you
okay.
played
Okay.
like compared to when you signed back on at least halfway through. So
Okay. All right. I'm so sorry, everyone. Thank you. I guess that's my time anyway. So, unsatisfying way to end a performance. But thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, I wonder, Michael, if you could talk a second about the intersection of classical and jazz in your playing and composing, and maybe, I mean, do you separate? Do you think differently about the two? I mean, obviously, you just stuck Scriabin and Thelonious Monk together. I mean, I know I've heard some pianists talk about like different touch for the different styles of music, or I don't know. You have thoughts about this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I my home base and my love and my kind of heart has always been, well, I guess you could say it's really been in both places, because when I started as a young composer, I was actually doing both, but the jazz fire got fed first, and it's only in the last few years that I've kind of circled back to classical music again. And I've always played classically on my own, just kind of to keep it up and everything. But for me, I mean, the more that I've kind of gone into both worlds, the less separate they feel. It just feels like making music, and I just trying to find pathways and connections that connect all of my musical languages, not just classical and jazz and whatever else, might be involved in there as well. So I'm really just trying to kind of bring it all together under one tent and make music, Yeah.
Yeah, I had a quick question about everything that you do: composer, pianist, new dad. How do you do all of that?
Well, not a lot of sleep these days, and also a constant feeling of wanting to do more. Truly, I mean, that's really just what it is. Is just like, I think that it's true for so many people with creative pursuits, is that it's hard to contain it's hard to contain it into like one box, right? So I think that like my desire to be in this place and that place is really just out of a feeling of wanting to do it all. And I know that that's an impossible thing to chase, but there's something about always chasing it, right, that keeps us going. So I know that that's something that I'm sure that that's something that resonates with you all too, because when I think about doing it all, I think about the type of work that you all have been involved in over the last, long time. I don't even know how long you all have been doing the work that you've been doing, but I've been aware of your work for about something like 4 or 5 years at this point, and become more acutely aware of it over the course of the last 2 or 3 years as you've been doing these live stream concerts and really making a great go at that. So I'm actually curious to flip that back onto you all. How do you, I guess I have a 2-part question. My first question is, how do you compartmentalize all the different aspects of what it means to not only perform in an ensemble, but also compose for the ensemble and then also manage the ensemble? How do you all go about managing all of that? And then secondly, I'm actually really interested in the creative process that you all employ when you're composing for each other. Like, what are the type of constraints that you put on each other? What are the type of work that you all do creatively together, and what does that process look like? So,
which one you want?
You go first. Andy's a quicker thinker than I am.
Okay. Well, I'll reply about the creative process. Okay. So it is interesting, we are more like classical in that most of our music's written out. And so I think, especially for Carmen, like writing for guitar is pretty difficult. And so I definitely would say I have my hand, like that first piece we played, Locust Storm. I definitely have my hand in the guitar part, but she did a lot of that herself. And I think it's like we have our separate ideas, and then we work on them separately and talk about it, but then we bring it together and then, kind of meld it together. We have some pieces that we actually wrote together where we like trade back and forth or something. But a lot of it's like, like it starts as my piece and then we put it all together. I don't know. For many years, I think we did a lot of writing just in the summers when we weren't teaching, and use that time to, come up with the ideas, get the thing going, and then spend the rest of the year, working it all out. The last 2 years are just different, and so we actually have a ton of new music. So actually, our problem is figuring out actually how to play everything that we're working on. So, there's mine. Yeah. Carmen's turn.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The compartmentalize. Yeah, we've always had very sort of definite roles, like I wear this hat and you wear that hat. And so, for a long time it was, I did the more like, I'm the manager hat, and Andrew was like, I'm the finance hat. we played to our strengths. More recently though, as things have changed, like I took on more teaching and Andrew has more time, more flexibility. He's learning to do those things, and it's very interesting to suddenly switch roles and to teach each other. You learn a lot about how you did things yourself, and you learn how you can do things better actually by showing someone else the things that you sort of took for granted, like, oh, I know how to do that. And so it's been good. What year we started playing together? In 2002.
Wow. So this is the 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, this fall we're going to start a big 20-year thing. Yeah, and
That's exciting.
We started pretty organically, just like, hey, we played together, and then you want to like go on tour? Yeah. And then so it kind of, our process though over the years has been largely organic, and then this, sort of more intentional strategic things have only been maybe the last 5-10 years. So it's been interesting.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's your constant inspiration with how organized you all are and how great you all sound. So keep it up. It's great. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this. It's wonderful to be able to present great artists and great people on these series. So thank you so much for doing this. And by the way, just to everyone out there, the real challenge of this live stream thing is everybody's got different equipment. We're all in our houses or in our neighbors' houses last minute trying to make all this work. So it's a miracle that this even happens. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you all for sticking around like through the outage there. Sorry about that. I'm just the fact that there's still 15 people on is like miraculous to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you all for sticking around through that. Sorry again about that. Yeah, and thank you, Carmen and Andrew, for having me. This has been fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll wave goodbye to everyone. See you next time. Thanks so much.
Bye.